Wedding night with a stranger.
And some of them thought they was gonna break off a piece or two.
Welcome to Cliff Alerts. Today we're going to be talking about Lifetime Network's reality-based TV series, Married at First Sight, season number 16, episode number 4.
But before we get into it, we gotta say something about our no show last week. We were having some technical difficulties. This is Funky Finger Production.
2.0.
We still have some health challenges. So here we are and we're ready to go.
Are you sure about that? Kirsten decided that she was going to continue to show her behind. After the wedding ceremony, she was expecting or hoping that he would have asked to kiss her. So
And
this
then
time, when he did, I guess it was the same answer.
And then her
Same
girl
response.
told him, remember he said that his girl told him he needs to ask for the kiss. So now he asked for a kiss.
And she's
He
still
was
simping.
denied.
Mm.
We shall expect more of Miss Kristen and her little funky attitude.
Mm.
And we hope could roll like that, but I think the brother is not authentic.
You gotta find his face first and pick that up and put that back together.
Well, when he does, he has to know that he says one thing in his confessional and one thing to her. So we shall find out who the real Shaq is.
Mm.
So
Learn quick.
yeah. So we gotta go to who's the next one up?
McKinley and Dom Mac.
Yeah, they were having a nice little situation going on. They had
Yeah, they were
some
talking on the couch.
chemistry. They
Yeah.
were relaxed.
Hmm.
Dom said she wasn't feeling nervous,
And Mac
and
was checking out her
yeah,
groceries.
because he said he likes the tatas. And when they got to their room, they were drinking and laughing and talking. And he asked her uh, how she feels about, sleeping with him. And she said she brought her body, she sleeps with a body pillow. And he told her that, basically he wants to be her body pillow. She was okay with that. So, they were
Yeah, they were like
kissing and
smooches
touching
and
and
yeah, before they went to bed. But it was a long day for not only
they,
them,
they,
Mac and Dom, but all of them.
they talked about getting in the room by 4 o'clock. So it was a long day of filming. We see Clint and Gina. Now, Clint, he knows he wants something to happen. He's ready. He took the shirt off. He's strutting around like that action figure. And he liked that she asked him to get her out of the dress, and it was not his skill set, so he had to take his time with the buttons, and he liked that. So he was ready to go.
Hmm.
But when she showed up, she had her pajamas on and everything else, and they kissed a little bit, but that was the extent of that.
Yeah, Gina liked the fact that Clint was pretty easy going through this process, and that kind of made her feel comfortable.
Again, I smell a whole lot of ish with these couples simply because they say one thing in their confessional, and when they're with that person, they say something else. There's some funk with them. So, more will be revealed, but I'm smelling some
I
ish.
don't think it's coming from Clinton as it relates to that part of it
No, from
because
Gina and Shaq, he doesn't speak his mind. And remember how he was so overwhelmed about nobody knows what I go through, and that's because he doesn't speak his truth. That's why he was so upset.
well, I think Clint was speaking his because I really honestly believe he meant it when he said that
She
when he
fooled
first,
his eye, yeah,
yeah, and that
yeah.
she way exceeded his expectations.
But she's not there yet. You could tell the
Mm.
way she's being nice, which we hope Kristen would be. She's just nice. She's just
She
going
missed that class.
along
She missed that class.
just because she's being nice. If the man wants a kiss, she gives him a kiss. I mean, basically, they both signed up for this, so she got to open herself to love. You don't see Kristen doing that just yet.
Yeah, but Gina, no, I just think that she is, just not in the same place like you said that Clint is. But maybe she can get there because she does like some of Clint's attributes. You know, initially.
Does she? Next week, I mean, they did a trailer with her talking to him sideways about how he looks, and he talking to her sideways about how curvaceous she is, and that may not be pleasing to everyone. So, I don't think just yet that Gina and Shaq is speaking their truth,
Yeah, well,
but Gina is trying to get along, if you
yeah.
know what I'm
And
saying.
speaking of getting along, I think Eris and Jasmine are getting along okay initially. I think.
Yeah, Jasmine was concerned about taking off the wig, the face, the everything for Iris to see her in her natural state, a natural woman. And I guess it's like a Eddie Murphy movie when you take off the hair, put the teeth on the counter.
Man, if she had pulled out some teeth, boy, I would have lost it right then and there, boy.
But
Oh my goodness.
it happened. She showed up and, absence of a little bit of the makeup. She wasn't hot on the eyes.
No, she's not, and I think that Eris thinks that it was all worth it as a result. I mean, he's definitely attracted to what he sees in his wife.
The lingerie she had on,
Yeah,
they were kissing and then they hugged up and they two went to bed.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then we saw Nicole
And
and
Chris,
Chris.
yeah, yeah, and they were really, I guess, of all the couples, to me, they are really the most, and this is probably not a fair way to say it, but it's the only thing that comes to mind right now. Probably the most authentic or genuine right now.
They seem the most compatible to
Right,
me.
right. Hmm.
I mean, they want this to work. They
Yeah, and
want
it's
something good to come
obvious.
out of
Yeah, it's
this.
obvious, and there's the
So,
chemistry there, and they've just gotten off to a really good start so far.
right,
You know,
right,
so you're kind of pulling for them.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
And so that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
So the following morning,
Everybody got up,
everybody got up. How was your
pillow
night?
talk and
Good,
all of that.
good,
You
good
know,
sleeping with you.
right,
That
and
kind of
yeah, and
attitude.
I think what was it? Eris who asked Jasmine how his cuddle game was. She said on a scale of 1 to 10, she was like, well, your cuddle game was a 9 or something like that.
And she was way over on his side of the bed, and
Yeah,
she put that thing on him, and
yeah,
he was happy about that.
yeah. And
They got up and had breakfast because the next thing they had to do was meet
meet
the
their
family,
in-laws,
meet the
right,
in-laws
right, and sit down and talk with them a little bit more in depth at the
reception.
reception and or the wedding ceremony.
Right.
Right, right. Mhm.
And we see some of the family members are disrespectful and some are being
Max
supportive,
mom.
some being supportive and being really careful with their words.
Yeah.
So let's go through it.
Yep, absolutely.
Nicole and Chris.
Okay.
Nicole's father was out of pocket. I don't understand how he could be so overly aggressive towards the man when his daughter signed up to participate in this kind of unnatural way to get married and find a
In
husband.
spite of whatever feelings he may have
Right.
had as a result of
They seem
the
to be
process.
very aggressive. Chris was, he held back. He spoke to him in a respectful way
Right, but
while he was just out of pocket.
yeah, father-in-law didn't rep himself too good.
Cole had to meet with Chris's mother and father and his brother.
Hmm.
His brother told her that sometimes Chris is so involved in a relationship he stays longer than he should.
Hmm.
And the father said Chris wears his heart on his sleeve, and if she believes the relationship is not going anywhere, she needs to cut him loose quickly and
And not drag on.
not drag stuff along
Yeah, but
because it's
overall though, I think Chris's people were
very cordial.
cordial and they acted appropriately and they were more supportive in their initial, I guess.
Response to.
Yeah, yeah,
See, they too wanted them to work despite this unusual circumstance of
absolutely.
marrying someone at
Some of
25.
the other in-laws and or friends could have taken a page out of that book.
Right. Jasmine met with Aries trifling cousin Fallon or whatever her
Later,
name is, and she comes across him.
Foghorn Leghorn, whatever her name is.
She comes across as a bitter sister. She's overly aggressive. This a woman she just met. She asked the question. Jasmine responded, and she had a problem with the pace with which Jasmine responded to. She insulted her on the
Mischaracterized her
down low.
response. Yeah,
She
it was
said, "Oh,
just
she's so pageantry," and
it was kind of
what exactly is that?
it was
It's
condescending, it
condescending.
was rude, it was
Yes,
arrogant.
yes, it
For
was.
her to come at somebody that she doesn't even know, and in the interest of, I guess, what she calls trying to protect her cousin.
Yeah,
Get off
but
of that. First of all, he doesn't need that kind of protection from you. Secondly, he just got married, so you ought to be more respectful to his new wife, even though you don't know her, he doesn't either, and you got to be more supportive in the process. Not only to your cousin, but also, yeah, to your cousin, but also to his new wife, because you want them to work. If you don't want them to work, then just keep going like you're going.
and you got to be careful with family members when you just meet them. You just got to try to put your best foot forward because you got to exist in a relationship with these people.
Yeah, but she
And
doesn't
it's
have.
not a good idea to be overly aggressive. But had it been me, I would have said, well, I could see you have some issues with me. That's your thing, not mine. And if you think I'm being pageantry with my responses, don't ask me any questions. I would have gone like that. And that would have been the end of the conversation. See, this is how family stuff start off on the wrong.
See, I would have cut her ass off. That's what you're saying.
Yes, I would.
And you know what? You know what? She would have deserved it in that case if she had come across somebody like you or somebody else who was a little less tolerant of her condescending, arrogant, rude conversation and or attitude.
Because the bottom line is it's over. They're married now. You have
Exactly.
to now support these couples.
Right.
Just like, when we got married, the pastor said that those who are witnessing this marriage got to be in support
Part of
of the couple,
not in
not
opposition
in
to
opposition to.
believe.
So she just met the girl 5 minutes ago and talking about, oh, she comes with the pageantry responses.
Right. She got uppity
Please,
about that. Come on, man.
please,
Come on.
you too can be a pageant girl.
No, she couldn't be. No.
Anywho, let's keep this pushing. Jasmine's
Embarrassed.
parents met with Eris.
Jasmine's father was like, "Hey, look, I have expectations, but I know that that it's on you. I'm relying on you to take care of my daughter now. I know now that she's married, that I'm still the father figure, but you're the man. You're the man in her life now. So, I'm
I'm gonna
counting on
step
you.
back
Yeah, and I'm
and
counting on you to step up that way. And I
exactly.
love the way he handled it.
I gotta tell you, folks, I do not like how McKinley's mom looks at Dominique. She looks like she's looking down her nose at her. She looks like she's condescending and she is dismissive of her. And I have no idea what she's trying to prove or what she's trying to say. But when she's making Dominique the butt of her joke among her daughter and friend of McKinley, that is disrespectful.
Yeah, it may not be fair to say this, but it seems like she was looking down at her nose at something that somebody that she didn't think was good enough for her son.
Well, regardless if it's good
Too late
enough
now.
or not, too late
Too
now.
late now.
And she just met this young girl.
Right, right.
This girl didn't do anything that warrant her attitude towards her at all.
Yeah, and
At all.
there's probably some people out there that were thinking that there may have been a little bit of a racial element. The bottom line is that your son is now married to a woman that he just met, irrespective of whether or not you like the process or not, and you can repeat it 10,000 times. It's not gonna change it.
And then we gotta know too that they have stuff that they filmed and did not show us. But what they did show us did not leave a good uh picture or take of
Initial impression of her.
McKinley's mother
No, no.
and
His
her daughter.
grandmother, on the other hand, was, I think, far more reserved and a little bit more supportive.
You mean her grandmother, Dominique's grandmother, when met with McKinley, was very respectful because the grandmother and her mom met with McKinley. And the grandmother was very sweet. She called him Mac, and she asked whether he had dated black girls before, and he said he did, but he didn't have a whole wide range of dating black women, and she just wanted to check because, you know, you just have to be careful about who you people going out with and if their intentions are pure by what they're doing.
Yeah, and I thought they handled that part of it very well. I don't think that on the flip side that Max people handled that very
No,
well.
no, they didn't.
But it's still early. Yeah.
So they all get back to the room and they're sitting with their spouse. And Jasmine comes back like she's exhausted, like she's been drained from her meeting with Aries people. So they heard a knock on the door and they got a gift
Get that.
basket with Jamaican flags in it. So they're going to Jamaica for their honeymoon. So everyone's excited to go to Jamaica
What?
except Kirsten and Shaquille.
Got a big time tulip all on the ground. Mm. What? Am I lying? Tell me when I'm lying.
Shaquille has some sort of conference in Mississippi. Once the conference is over, they will then go on to Jamaica.
Meet up with the rest of the couples there.
And Kristen was not very supportive.
Oh my goodness.
Her lip was on the
He
ground.
had a tune.
She had a big time toot,
Mm,
and it
mm.
was not pleasant to watch.
And was intent on making her new hubby make up for that part.
So we see more and more of who Kristen is.
Mm, mm,
Kristen is who Kristen is.
mhm.
And
Good, very good.
hey,
Great. They didn't even call you kid.
so the group gets on the plane.
Mhm.
There was an upset, according to Dominique, on Married at First Sight after
Yeah,
Joe.
apparently Mac
That
in a
Mac didn't like
inadvertent.
being in the back of the plane.
No, he didn't like being in the middle seat.
Right. And he even canceled the ticket, but it was
Inadvertently,
by
yeah.
accident.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody likes to be in the back of the plane anyway.
In the middle seat if you ain't gotta be.
Right.
Yeah.
So they all get to Jamaica. They got their drinks. They get to their room. Beautiful room. It has a jacuzzi in it,
Man.
and they had a waterfront view.
Mm.
And instead of them dropping their bags, picking up their flip flops, getting a swimsuit on, or just being loose, and going to the water, going to the hotel, meeting and greeting, and getting another adult beverage,
Mm-hmm.
and getting some food, some conch soup,
Rum.
some rum punch, some ackee, some
Man,
kingfish soup.
man.
The getting into the culture of the food and hearing
The
some reggae
Jamaican culture.
music.
Yeah, man.
They start talking about past relationships, old
And
boyfriend.
let's be specific about who you're referencing. You're referencing Chris
Nicole
and
and
Nicole.
Nicole. I'm thinking these people are in the big J. These people have a waterfront view and it's at night. You're thinking, okay, maybe I could go skinny dipping.
Or Nita J. Like, like I told you, burn ones.
Hmm,
Huh?
maybe
Huh?
get some red stripe or
Yeah.
some fried fish
Yeah.
or something
A
and
carrot, like a carrot beer, something like this. Huh?
soaking in the being laid back and that the sound of the water and the moon and the stars and the wind on your skin
And the blue water.
and the blue well you can't
No,
see it at night but
it's
they're in the room talking about old boyfriends. That's in the
an
past.
old relationship. Yeah.
They are in Jamaica and they're talking about old ex.
Hey, do not ask me to understand that one.
When did that become sexy?
I
On
do
a
know.
date situation, talking about your ex.
First day of your honeymoon too.
Come on.
Ooh,
You may mention it after the fact when you're down the road, but now,
man,
no. They're in Jamaica.
exactly.
Take some of that clothing off. Free yourself and get in that water.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
You know, you
Yes.
know.
Hey, boy. Hey.
But
Oh
it
yeah.
is what it is.
Yeah.
So that's all we have. We hope for the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you for keeping us in your prayer. And thank you that you support us. Blessings always.
Yes.
Have a good one.
Hmm.
And if you ever go on a date, do not talk about your ex.
First thing out.
Float a flag on that place. No. Go back and start over.
Yeah, throw two of them if you're in Jamaica or somewhere out of the country, on your honeymoon, the first day of your honeymoon.
Lord
Throw
have
two of them.
mercy.
Hmm?
People need to experience some things.
Yeah, that's all right. That's a little bit of rum and a little bit of what kingfish, and a little bit of, like I said, they can burn one too.
Well, why? No, 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 he did not say that.
Yeah, I did.